I have lived in China, Beijing, the capital city, for over 10 years of my life, from October 2010 all the way up to April 2020. So I've been here for a long time. I'm very familiar with what China is like and how it has been able to adapt to the coronavirus outbreak. And to be honest, I've been much more impressed than I've ever expected. Life here in China was not easy during the coronavirus outbreak, but at least the Chinese government has made a lot of efforts to try to curb the COVID-19 so that you would have fewer and fewer cases. What has China done in order to make that happen? Very simple. They focused on the aspect of public health comes as top priority. Okay. A lot of times you'll hear a lot of stories, and I've been closely monitoring news about China for a long time here. And the main stories that have happened were about the economy, always about how to make the GDP higher, or at least how to improve rapid development or improve urbanization, industrialization, modernization. So everything was about making the economy much stronger. But when the coronavirus came, Beijing decided they were going to place public health as top priority. And what happened is, starting on January 23rd, they announced a Wuhan lockdown. You had a city of over 11 million people, probably even more than that. And they put the entire city under strict quarantine. Nobody who was a regular resident could leave the city. Ordinary residents could not enter the city. The only people who could enter were medical staff from all over China, as well as troops from the People's Liberation Army, who were delivering food convoys and medical supplies to the much needed areas because they wanted to make sure that the Wuhan residents would not starve. To me, that was amazing. And it also required much self-discipline. I had lived through the quarantine myself here in China. I have a wife and I have a young son. My wife is Chinese. My son, he was born here in Beijing. And when I first heard about the quarantine, I, of course, was also very nervous. Oh my, what's going to happen? How are people here going to survive? They're shutting down a lot of the shops. The cities are turning into ghost towns. There's very few people walking outside. And it can be scary at times. But one thing I knew is that the government really did place public health as priority. And by doing so, it made me trust what the government's actions were as well. So, for example, if I wanted to leave my apartment, I had to show a residence pass. I also had to wear a face mask. I had to ensure that I was not putting myself at risk or possibly getting many other people infected by the coronavirus just because I wanted to step outside. To me, that was an amazing approach, because it takes a lot of self-discipline to stay at home, to not go out and meet friends and enjoy yourself, as well as many people, including myself, were required to work at home. And as I said, it was not easy. But the facts is that China's approach, although very strict, was very successful. Think about the big data reporting. And a lot of issues were about technology, okay? So you had cases, for example, that the Western media was claiming, oh, China's underreporting the numbers or whatever. We had a lot of major surveillance. So anywhere I went, anytime I went to a public place, I had to get my body temperature checked. I had to write my name down. I had to write my phone number, and everything gets recorded. So if I had a fever, I could have been reported. There's no way there was any underreporting of the numbers in China. So what I want everyone to understand is China played a very effective role to curb the coronavirus, and the rest of the world should look at the China model, because that is what's going to help them to overcome the coronavirus as well. So, as I said, China has done very well to curb the virus. And only speed and measures really do matter most.